routine by some of our senior boys and girls. Let's give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we go. While we do it, I do it for the time. Tell them boys I never leave the crib alone, cause I keep one in my car and I got two at home. They different kinds but they do the same thing.
Very nicely done, ladies and gentlemen. Alrighty, we're here for the Senior Pep Rally. It's a Midland Christian tradition where parents have the opportunity to bless their child as they prepare to transition into the next chapter of life. Throughout the Old Testament and the Bible, we see the fathers speak over their children and give them blessings personalized towards them. In the same way here, we ask that these parents do the same thing for their children. So dads, if you will go ahead and bring your chairs forward. Not all at once. And seniors, if you will find your seat in front of your dad or whoever is speaking for you today at this time. A friendly reminder, we ask that you keep your remarks to 30 seconds. We know that your child's son is awesome and amazing and you could talk about him for a long time, but the students are eager to get back to class, so 30 seconds for your daughter or son, please. Richie, please. One moment, please.
Mic check, 1, 1.
Few technical difficulties, bear with us.
No, look, I'm the MC, I'm not afraid to sound right. It's you, that's why you get paid that much.
My name is Keith Corbett. This is my daughter, Sarah. She's been telling me about this day for about 3 years now because she thinks it scares me. But the truth of the matter is, the best part of most days for parents is when they get to brag about their kids in 30 seconds. It ain't going to happen, by the way. But, and Sarah is one of the easiest kids in the world to brag about. But, so Sarah, your mom and I, we have a bit of a laissez-faire parenting style towards you, but it's because we have expectations that you know about and you've always lived up to them. There's several characteristics that are important to us to pass on to all of our kids. The first one is just having good character. We constantly have other parents, teachers, and others come up to us and compliment us on you and tell us great things you've done. And as a parent, it's very humbling But the reality is that's the person you are and the person that you choose to be, so you get all the credit for that. And the second thing that we look for is hard work. And I've been in your room countless times at midnight telling you to go to bed, and it's always the same. It's, I need to finish this test or this assignment or whatever. And all the hard work you've put in, it's all paid off. And you deserve the credit for all of that. And then finally, we want all of our kids to be independent. And you've always been independent. But as I think about you leaving next year, I think back to when you got your driver's license. And I told you had to go drive by yourself for the first time. And you got in your car and you were way nervous. And you drove up to the school. And I told you had to take a picture and then you could come home. So you sent me a picture. And instead of coming home, you picked up Bethany and Emma and a few others and went to the mall and came home 2 hours later with a huge smile on your face. And next year's going to be a lot the same. It's, we'll drop you off at school and you're going to be worried, but once you get there and get settled in, it's going to be perfect and you're going to have a huge smile on your face and you're ready. But we love you.
My name is Kendall Decker, and this is Bethany. And Bethany's mom and I are very proud of Bethany, and very, very thankful that God gave her to us, and particularly thankful for her work ethic and her competitiveness that have helped her to do well here at Midland Christian. And everybody here is trying to do their best, and those qualities are we can all look forward to and try to aspire to. I'm also really thankful some qualities that she has that I don't have. Creativity and attention to detail. I've always been amazed at some of the projects she can do and some of her work that I never could have done. That I always suffered from, and then finally her sense of awareness, to me, just for people, but also what's going on around. If I could have figured out earlier, on my stock picks to look to try and buy early whatever Bethany wanted for Christmas or for school, I could have done a lot better. But I've always challenged Bethany, work hard, do your best, serve God, and love others. That's a recipe for success and happiness for all of us. And that's my prayer for Bethany, going forward is for wisdom from God and continue to, hopefully she can use her talents to, in college at A&M and then going forward to do a lot of good and help people. And I love you, Bethany.
There's an old African proverb that starts out, it takes a village to raise a child, and that's what I truly believe Midland Christian is a village. And I want to thank all the educators, coaches, administrators, everybody that's had any kind of influence on Mindy. We appreciate that. Mindy, I can't believe this day's come. I can remember when you were little pre-K and we're dropping you off at Miss Laura's knee-high program, and here we are 6 months from graduation. So just want to say from your mother and I, we love you. Can't believe the young lady that you've grown up to be. We're so proud of you, and we can't wait to see what the next chapter in your life holds.
Hi, my name is Garrett Keithley, and I'm Campbell's dad. It's been a lot of fun for me as a dad to go through Campbell's football journey from when he was a little kid until now, and to see just all the highs and lows, all the challenges, the obstacles and see how he's faced that. But to go through it with him, be there to support him, to cheer him on, root for him, that's been a lot of fun. But if I had to pick out one thing that I think that I admire the most about Campbell, it would be the love that he has for his teammates, in the way that I think he'd do anything for them and goes out every day, practice or games, and just does everything he can to help the team to succeed. I'm really proud of him for all his hard work and any accomplishments, but we love you. I'm proud of you. Go get them tomorrow.
These guys over here are pretty good because they didn't have to write anything down. Michael, my name is Rick Madrid. Michael Madrid is my son. There's nothing more that I've enjoyed, Michael, to watch you and your team practice on the field, working hard and getting ready for the next challenge. I also need you to know that watching you develop and grow stronger every day for your team, from the moment you started playing for Midland Christian, Coach Mack, Coach Fleet. There's so many memories that I'll never forget, and so many memories you won't forget. But one of the most is, out of all the memories, is where your grandpa and I were watching. He'd walk along. He'd walk along the fence line where Coach Fleet was teaching, working with the O-line, and just watch him until it was all over with. I was a little worried that he was going to try to coach you from the side there, so near Coach Fleet. It's clear he was very proud, just as your mom and I are. But it wasn't only in football that you did great, your academics. Midland Christian challenged you, and you owned up. So stay focused, motivated, and never ever doubt yourself. Because you can and you will succeed. I love you.
My name is Turk McDonald. I'm Rick's dad. And before I get started, I wanted to tell you guys a quick story about last year. Riggs had been in school for about a week, and we were having dinner. And I asked him, how's school going? And he said, it's weird. And I said, what do you mean weird? And he goes, the teachers are awesome. And I wanted to give you teachers a little tap on the back and say, thank you guys. I'm going to try to get through this. I wrote a little letter to Riggs. Riggs, we've been blessed to get to watch you progress over the years. It's been a joy and a lot of fun to see you mature. You've made great choices with your friends who you have surrounded yourself with. This really is a great big deal because who you run around with is a reflection of yourself. We're proud of your choices. You've gone through highs and lows in your time here at Midland Christian. You had a nice junior season last year. You went through a couple of internal surgeries last spring, which hindered your spring workouts. But once you healed, you worked really, really hard during the summer to improve your game and prepare for your senior season. All that hard work and that mentality was showing. You elevated your game and were playing better than I'd ever seen you. Unfortunately, you were not able to finish it, but football is a tough game, but so are you. You and all of us had a hard couple of months in there, mostly because we knew you were hurting on the inside, watching your team and teammates go to battle without you. You stayed positive for your team and the program, but really that's just who you are. You're a team first guy. You always have been. That's part of what makes you special. I believe your teammates and coaches trust and respect you. And ultimately, the greatest accolade any player can receive in this game is the trust and respect of his teammates and opponents. With all this being said, you have a long recovery in front of you. But football's not over for you, and there are things left out there that you want to accomplish. Knowing what you've gone through here at Midland Christian, how mentally tough you are, there's no doubt you can achieve whatever you put your heart and mind toward. You're a good person, a great son, and we are so very proud of the kind of man you are becoming. And lastly, we look forward to seeing your next possession and your next set of downs. We love you.
Hi, I'm David Purdy. My wife's over in the stands, Lynn, but so Chris Purdy's our son. I won't belabor this, but I just want to share 3 things that I think are really fun about Chris and really define who he has become. The first is he's never met a stranger. And even as a very young kid, you know, if we had somebody working in our house or something like that, Chris was never intimidated. He would go back there, he'd pick up the guy's tools, he would introduce him. He's always had a love for people, and that's a special quality that we really enjoy. And second, he's got a very strong walk with the Lord. We're very proud of the stand that he's made on that and the sacrifices that he's made. And the thing that I like about and really admire the most about that is he's not ashamed to talk about it. So, again, one of the things that Lynn and I hold very dear. And last but not least, he's probably, you know, when he suits up, he's probably the smallest guy or one of the smallest guys on the field. You know, and when Chris decided he wanted to come over here and he came back and Max said, yeah, Coach Max said I probably would play linebacker, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this could be a train wreck. But anyway, I really, we've been pleased to see the dedication and the heart that he's put into to learning that position and to playing it. And we're very thankful to all the teachers and the administrators and Coach Mack and the coaches for giving him the opportunity. So that's Chris Purdy. Thank you.
I'm Will Culpepper. This is Sam. Sam, what a great picture. Sam, we are, Mom and I are just proud of you, of the young man you are. A lot of people don't know how much Sam has sacrificed for our family, and we're just thankful for the impact you've had on Jay Sean, on Trinity, on Marie and Alexis. People won't realize what you've done, and we're really thankful for that. I'm thankful for your character, that you're not going to sacrifice who you are, that football is just a very small part of Sam, and it's just encouraging to see what you've done and all your avenues and the impacts you've had. And I'm also very thankful that the impact you had on young classmen. I think you know, Coach Mack put out a lot of challenges to a lot of the seniors, and I really truly think that you've embodied encouragement and just being a positive role model to a lot of younger classmen, whether it's in football and or choir or whatever you're involved in. So I'm very thankful. Lastly, a couple weeks ago, talked to Sam about this. We're at church, and the message was about someone in the Bible, and it spoke to my heart, and it describes Sam to a T. The story's about Barnabas in the Bible, and it talked about Barnabas means the son of encouragement, and Sam has been that for our family. And I hope and pray that everybody in the school has had that, and I hope they can say that this young man has been an encourager to them. And in a world that's full of criticism and negativity and constant correction, which will always be there because we need to improve, you have to have somebody that will stand up for what's good in people. And Sam has absolutely done that for our family. I'm proud of you. Mom and I are proud of you. Your grandparents are proud of you. Your siblings are proud of you. And not only my son, but my best friend. I'm really excited to see what you're going to do in your life, because I know God's going to use you for great. Thanks, Sam. Love you.
letter up to Colin. So Colin, this is from Dad. That I'm very sorry that we're not here to honor you as a senior. I wish that I could be here to say these words, but I'm thankful that your brother is here to read them to you. Colin, you bring joy to our life every single day. You bring laughter to our home. You are fun to be with. Every day I look forward to seeing you, spending time with you, and adventuring through life together. Our ski trips, sporting events, travel together, and pool time have been some of the highlights of my life. From early in life, I reminded you to not forget who you work for. As Christ followers, we always work for the Lord, not for men. These are not mere words. Rather, we are coded of conduct for our lives to work for the Lord. It means that we commit and give our best at all we can do, regardless to our feelings or what the result may be. The mere fact that God has chosen us to join His workforce defines the work as an honorable and noble task. He never expects perfection. He never degrades us when we fail. Yet joyfully, He is honored when we simply give Him our best. This is our sacrifice and praise to Him. Colin, I've seen you work when nobody else was watching. I've seen you push yourself harder and harder to discover what your best is. I've seen you dream and then fight for that dream. And unfortunately, I was watching one of these dreams was taken in a single or maybe 3 single hits. Yet it did not change who you were or who you worked for. I've watched you face this challenge, but mutually and with maturity and nobility, and you have honored yourself, our family, and our Savior through it all. I'm very proud of you, Colin. I'm proud that you're my son. I'm proud that you're the man that you're becoming. It's been one of the joys of my life to stand alongside you through this journey into manhood. I have no doubt that God has amazing plans for you. I pray daily that He will continue to bless you as you seek Him and serve Him every part of your life. I thank Him that He picked your mother and I to be a part of these plans. It has really been a joy. I'm proud of you as a brother, and I know that my mom and dad love you very much, and I'm just mainly proud of you. So good job, buddy.
I'm Grant Scherzer, and Grant told me that I had exactly 30 seconds to speak, and that I would get in major trouble if I went over, so this is going to be very short and sweet. With regard to the football team, just want to say that Tiffany and I are so glad that Grant is a part of this football team. He has learned hard work, discipline, and dedication, and I have been so impressed by the support and the camaraderie of all the kids on this team and all the parents involved. And I just want to thank Coach Matt for taking a personal interest in Grant and every other kid on this team. Grant has always been a really good kid. I can't call him a kid anymore. He's a really good young man. For many years, my wife and I prayed the scripture, Daniel 1:4, over Grant, that he would be filled with godly wisdom and knowledge, and that he would have a heart to serve God and his fellow man. And that's exactly the man that Grant has become. And Grant, I cannot tell you how proud Mom and I are of you, and we love you more than you'll ever know.
Brian Trevor's dad is Trevor Tucker. If you don't know him, maybe one day you will, because he's such a special young man. And I know we heard that down the line, but I'm not kidding, he's the best. We're proud of you, your mother and I are proud of you. Never had any trouble from you. And as far as being raised in a different setting, I say that's you. There's not a day that goes by that your mom and I don't look at each other and just laugh and cry and we're thankful to Jesus what he gave us. And truly a gift, and what you have to offer this world is really super special. Like I said, people who don't know you, they will. And we love you, we're proud of you. Just keep doing what you're doing, man.
I'm Ron Wells, Zachary's dad. Your mother and I are proud of you. We see new things about you every day, like those dance moves we saw. And pretty happy you caught that young lady a minute ago. I was worried for her. We are proud of you, though. I like seeing how you can teach yourself how to do different things. You learn on your own. You teach me how to do it now. We're excited to see what's in your future. Just stay modest and humble through all of it, with your wins and losses. And life gets hard. Don't forget we're on this.
I misunderstood. I thought it was 30 minutes, not 30 seconds. As a passionate guy, I kind of get emotional sometimes, so I thought in this embarrassing moment for me, why not make it embarrassing for Matthew too? So I brought Squishy Cat for you, Matthew. If you want Squishy Cat, I'll got it. Okay, I'll hold on Squishy Cat for you. In all seriousness, my name is Ben Wall, my wife Trisha. Matthew, you're like a son to me. I love you. With God, all things are possible. God brought our lives together in a sudden way. We didn't see it coming. Where's that Squishy Cat? And most days it's hard to see what God is doing. The transition hasn't been easy, but love wins. Matthew, I love you. With God, all things are possible. You matter to me, and to Trisha, and your sisters and your brothers. You matter to our family. I love the way God made you. You're not just a kid that is living with my family. You are family to me. You are a son to me. Matthew, I love you. With God, all things are possible. You're a child of the King. You were bought at a great price and are highly valued in God's kingdom. You've been chosen as a personal friend of Jesus Christ. You're an overcomer. Jesus has made you worthy. You have what it takes to succeed in life. And God made you strong, smart, funny, curious, bold, athletic, stubborn, playful, hardworking, influential, charming. You're becoming a man of integrity. You're designed by God, gifted by God, placed exactly where He wants you so you may fulfill the destiny He has ordained for you. When God made you, Matthew, He got it exactly right. None of your past experience are a waste. Every loss, sadness, mistake, failure, and victory is God shaping you for His glory. May our good Father heal every wound and replace every sadness with great joy. You will be called a mighty oak of righteousness. He never left you alone, and He never will. And I know my time on earth is limited, and this season is coming to an end. But please know, I'm so glad that God put me in your life. Matthew, I love you. With God, all things are possible.
Deep breath. I was going to start out something about bragging about Cage, but it's okay. He does it himself now. My wife and I'm Keith Gilworth, my son Cage, Mom Cindy. We often when Cage was born, we often joke about when the doctor pulled him, from his mom, and how you kind of shake the baby a little bit to get him going. Case looked up at the doctor and just said, "How you doing? When are we going to Whataburger?" And for those of you who know him best, if you had him in class, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He came out talking, and he was never really a baby. He started talking, and she started running,
and just like that all the time. So I wrote a little letter to you, buddy. Some of you guys, Colton, Mike, and they'll get a chuckle out of this too, I hope. It really is fun. From the time you're old enough to swing a bat in the batting cage, I was throwing the ball at you, literally, especially when you didn't squish the bug. When you first put a helmet on and started playing football, I would grab you by the face mask when you wouldn't hit the hole or get downhill fast enough. You wouldn't have known then. But I was having the time of my life, just being with and around you. I thank God every day that you're my son, and I hope that he graces you in the same way that he has me all these years. May he always be in your life. I have and will always love you. Love, Daddy.
Hi guys, I'm Gary Carlisle, I'm Cooper's dad. I figured by the time we got to me, we would be in an emotional wreck. So I was going to share with everyone Cooper's first time on the football field for Midland Christian, and then kind of go into a little bit more about Cooper. But so we're playing in Monahans, and I think it was 3 years ago, and we had it was a scrimmage. And it was towards the end of the scrimmage, and you know, very rarely Cooper get in the game, but in this particular instance, toward the end of the scrimmage, they put Cooper in, and they are on this end of the field going this way, and he is probably 80 to 85 yards away from Christy and I sitting in the stands. And he's lined up at wide receiver, and he's looking in, and it appears as though he's looking at the quarterback. And I told Christy, I said, watch this. And I did like this. Cooper goes. So, you know, when we moved here 3 years ago, Cooper had a hard time understanding how he would fit in on the football team. I challenged him to figure out how he could help his team without having all the physical attributes of a football player. Over time, a lot of hard work, and getting his tail kicked in practice, he gained the respect of his teammates and figured out that his role was to inspire them. He chose to be the guy with a great attitude that gives 100% effort in the weight room, in the film room, in practice, and on the sidelines, and expects nothing in return. Not playing time, not awards, not a college scholarship, absolutely nothing. We are foolish to think that Cooper thinks about playing the game on Friday night. He thinks about no more or no less than his performance. He thinks about that no more or no less than his performance Saturday through Thursday. What's most important to him is being there with his teammates on game week, not game day, and inspiring them each and every chance he gets. I think that's what we all love about him the most. Coop has a pledge that he knows by heart. I constantly ask him sometimes out of the blue to recite it for me. He applies it to everything he does, his faith, football, school, being a son, politics, and I am certain he will apply it to being a husband and a father one day. I know his hope is, as I share it with you today, that maybe it could inspire each one of us to apply it in some way. I hear my wife crying over here. That we could all apply it to our lives. The pledge was found written in a diary of a fallen World War I soldier named Martin Treptow. On the inside cover of his diary, he wrote, "My pledge, America must win this war. Therefore, I will work, I will save, I will sacrifice, I will endure, I will fight cheerfully and do my utmost as if the issue of the whole struggle depended on me alone." Coop, you always ask me why I ask you to recite that pledge. It's because I can't think of a better way to approach life, as its many challenges are in your way, and I couldn't put it any better than Private Treptow. Unfortunately, there's a chance Cooper has played and stood on the sidelines of his last football game. For his coaches and his teammates, I know you're thinking it, so I'm going to go ahead and say it. Kick their tail these next 2 weeks so we can see Coop's smiling face come out of that tunnel. Not one, not two, but 3 more times. For Coop, God has given you the opportunity to influence and inspire so many people, but I can never recall a time that was your intent to get the attention or the recognition. My simple blessing for you is this: may you always be an example to believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity. I love you, buddy.
Applause for all of our dads who came out and these awesome senior women and men. Thank you all for being here and for your words of wisdom. At this time, we'll move right into the fight song. Cheerleaders, take your place. If we can move the chairs back. Band, let us hear it. Senior Joseph Michelle will lead us in a prayer. Please bow with me. Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for all the blessings that you give us. Thank you for letting us have the opportunity to get to honor our seniors like this. It's been an amazing year so far. I pray that you keep blessing us. I pray that you be with the team as they're traveling, help them to play good. I pray now for a special hand of healing over one of our seniors, Avery Kaiser. She's going through a hard time right now. We all just pray that you be with her and her family. It's in your name we pray. Amen. Safe travels to the football team tomorrow, and best of luck. Go get them. students to